In this video, traders, I want to talk to you about day trading using the 4-quadrant method. Stick around. Hey guys, well, welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, so what is the 4-quadrant method in day trading and why should you use it? Okay, so the idea of this is that we split up our market approaches into 4. So if you're a day trader, right, you go into the day. And some day traders like to be flexible. Let's go, okay, I'm going to see what comes. I've got some ideas and setups and strategies that I use, but I'm going to play it by ear and just see what the market is like. Others are very strict about what they're looking for. Like they've planned it all out, say, hey, if we get a dip down below the prior day's low, I'm buying that for a pushback to the VWAP, whatever it may be. And some traders are somewhere in between. So something you can do is to look at the market in these 4 quadrants. Now, ultimately, we've got 2 ways to trade, right? We've got momentum and we've got mean reversion. Momentum is following the market. It's a kind of inside out trade, looking for the spring to stretch and keep stretching and stretching. Most of the time, momentum traders see the stretch, see it contract. That's the pullback, the hold, the flag, and then the stretch again. That's a momentum type trade. Or there's mean reversion, which is market stretch, spring stretch, and looking for it to come back to a mean, come back to a VWAP, come back to an open, come back to a pivot point. It's stretched too far, it's above the prior day's high. I think we're in range bound condition. I'm going to fade that for a move back lower. You get the idea. So there's really only 2 ways to trade. And of course, we've got 2 ways to position, right? We go long and we go short. So imagine if you're at prior day's high, market's at prior day's high, you go, okay, am I going to fade this breakout or am I going to go with the breakout? Or I'm not going to trade at all. So you've got 3 things to think about in that situation. And then it pulls back, you go, well, am I going to fade? You constantly got these things to think about. Now, one way to improve the pressure that you're under and reduce the cognitive load is to think of your trading as quadrants. Okay, so in this quadrant, we've got, I'm going to label them here. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. In this quadrant here, 1, we've got mean reversion. So mean reversion is 1 and 2. In this quadrant here, 3 and 4, we've got momentum, 3 and 4. So anything in here is momentum trade, anything in momentum trade, mean reversion trade. Now, on the bottom, on our x-axis here, we've got long and short. Now, x-axis traditionally, I know x-axis across the bottom, but what is it in terms of quadrant? I don't know. You get the idea. Long is this, short is this. So if we were in this quadrant here, number 1, it'd be mean reversion, and it would be long. In this quadrant here, mean reversion short, momentum long, momentum short. So all of a sudden, we've become a little bit more structured with our trade. And so we say, right, my idea at the open is to trade a mean reversion short strategy. So I'm already in this quadrant, okay, mean reversion short. I'm thinking in terms of quadrants. So what does that do? That means I'm either shorting or I'm not. Now you might go, well, how does that help you? Just think about how that helps you. You're looking for one specific thing at the open, and that will be, if it's mean reversion, is to go up, stall, you get short, comes back down. So you start then planning that out, and you say, okay, what about how will I trade that? And you'd write in the quadrant there, you'd say, okay, well maybe I'm going to trade exhaustion. Maybe I'm going to trade a double top. You start to plan your ideas. Then you write down your levels, okay? And you go prior day's high, overnight high, this pivot point, R1, whatever it may be. And so now you're very focused on what you're looking for. You say, okay, I'm in the quadrant 2, it's a mean reversion short, and there's the open. It has to go higher for me to see that. If it goes lower, then I don't want to trade it because I haven't allowed myself to trade the momentum short yet, or I haven't allowed myself to trade the mean reversion long. That's not momentum long because it's the downside. So you're framing what you're looking for by packaging how you're thinking in these quadrants. And what this helps you to do is it helps you to really narrow your focus. You go, right, I'm only looking for mean reversion short. Market's got to be doing that. How will I time this? I want to see exhaustion. I want to see a double top. I want to see a head and shoulders. I want to see it stall at a level, whatever it is. And you really start to drill down what you're looking for. Then that means when you see it coming up to your key level, you're like, okay, it's got my level. It's double topping. Brilliant. I'm going to take it short. Or the cognitive question, or cognitive load then becomes, do I want to take it or not? Not, oh, don't want to get long, or should I do this, should I do that? You're looking for one specific thing only, and you take that trade, or you don't take that trade. And so you just become very, very good at spotting evidence to complement and support that trade or not. You go, no, you know what, I don't like it, it's too stretched, or it's holding above the level, yeah. And you start to get very, very good at reading that price action. Now, as you get more experience, you can open more quadrants up. And so as you get more experience in the market, you can say, okay, I still think a range bound because of the conditions in the daily chart. That's why the higher time frame is so good. And by the time you've gone through a checklist, you're like, okay, range bound market, I don't want to trade momentum. You already cross off two of the things. And so you go, okay, I'll do mean reversion, long and short. Those two quadrants are available to me now, 1 and 2. And so I'm either going to look for a push lower that finds some support, or a push higher that finds a bit of resistance. And again, you're only opening up another quadrant when you feel comfortable you can take more of this on. And so when the market opens, you're looking for these two things. And when it starts to push high, you go, I know I'm in quadrant 2. Starts to push low, go, I'm in quadrant 1, mean reversion is long. Now, you don't flip to any momentum or mean reversion. You never flip from the top row to the bottom row unless you have a very considered change of conditions and you've decided that, hey, the conditions have changed. So if you've gone into the market, say it's mean reversion based on that pre-market checklist stuff you've done, or however you do your process, and then it starts to motor off, you don't suddenly say, well, I'm just going to buy it because it's running. You say, I'm looking for mean reversion, looking for mean reversion, looking for mean reversion. It's gone too far, it's stretched. I don't see any evidence now that we're going to roll over. It looks like a trend type day. So then you go through your process again, you reflect, and only then you decide to say, actually, I'm going to switch, and I'm actually going to switch to a momentum-based, long-based strategy. And so you might do that after the first hour, for example. So let's say you're trading the first hour, and it runs on and on and on, and there's very, very tight flags. You've been looking for mean reversion, but it hasn't set up. That's the beauty. You're not got sucked in. Maybe you have and you got stopped out, but you're not going to get sucked in blindly because you've already decided what you want to see. But if you're wrong, that's okay. You're like, okay, I'm wrong. It's my recalibration time. I need to recalibrate, and I'm recalibrating into momentum long. And so then you go to the same process and go, I'm in this quadrant now, I'm looking for momentum long. What do I want to see? I want to see it pulling back, finding support. I want to see a broader bull flag. I want to see it rotating down over sold stochastic. Whatever you want to look for, you then start to look for that. And the beauty is, all you're doing each time is you're selecting which quadrant you're in, and you get better at that over time. And then you're looking for evidence to say I'm in the right quadrant, and then you're looking for things to support the execution of that trade. And so this becomes a far, far, far better way to trade, because not only do you get good at spotting the quadrant you're in, but you then get good at being a specialist, and you're like, hey, you know what, I'm just not very good in quadrant 3. I'm not very good at momentum long. You go, I'm good at momentum short, I'm good at that, I'm not. And so when you see that condition, you go, whoa, I'm not quite as good at catching this. Maybe I just need to step back and be a little bit more cautious. And so you start to become a specialist. And then you want to take it one step further. You go, well, I only trade momentum short quadrant. So I'm looking for this evidence in my overnight routine, or my pre-market routine, the overnight trade, that we're going to have momentum to the downside. You might not do that, but you get the idea. So the summary of this, guys, is to kind of get your quadrant and say, okay, what do I expect from the market? And allow yourself to kind of focus on one thing and say, hey, I think we're going to do this. Because if you're wrong, and you will be at first, you'll be like, yeah, but I thought we were going to mean revert short. We didn't. How can you get better? How can you improve that? How can you say, okay, well, actually, my read of that is wrong, and or maybe the market runs on and on and on, or maybe the market goes lower, lower, lower. I still think mean reversion short. I want to play that. You might have to wait for the next sequence, the next market cycle. So then you go, okay, now it's pushing back up. Okay, so maybe I was wrong with the mean reversion long off the open, but now we're a couple of hours in, we're starting to push the highs, we're struggling, we're stretched from the VWAP. Now I'm in the quadrant, I'm right. So it just helps you slow things down. It helps you focus on what are the key things. So we tend to, if we're looking for everything, we tend to forget what we're looking for, and we tend to kind of, does that support it? Does that negate it? Is this? Whereas when we're in one quadrant or two max, we tend to find things that support the trade idea or not. It gives us more confidence to pull the trigger on that trade. All right, guys, that was the 4 quadrant method. I hope that's helped. Keep the risk managed. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.